when you have a child in the military, it can be heartbreaking, especially when you're little and you don't understand military. All you know is mom or dad is gone. But then there's a bright side, like when they come home, and this is about a very, very big surprise for three little girls. Having someone in the military can have so many different emotions. When I first got married, my husband was in the Marine Corps, and it was different. We went from place to place, and it wasn't hard. It was not during wartime. It was hard when you had to do training and all that kind of stuff. But then as a mom, I had to send my son, Paul Brown. He was in the Army, and he went over in the Iraq War. I was devastated. The whole year, I don't think I stopped crying the entire year. It was so hard. I get goosebumps. I want to cry just speaking of it. It was hard because I didn't know, was he okay? Was he hurting? Was he sleeping? Did somebody, is he still alive? Is he tired? You just don't know. There's so many questions. And that was before, text message and stuff. So he had a phone call, and he would call his wife on occasion because, she was pregnant with their first child. So I didn't hear from him for a year, and it was hard. He came home with PTSD. He came home with some injury, not serious injuries, but he did come home with a couple of injuries. And so that was the hardest thing. So I've experienced it as a wife and as a mom. However, my grandkids, my three grandbabies, Amelia and Audrey and Abigail. Now, I believe they were like 3, 5, and 7, somewhere around there, or maybe 4, 6, and 8, somewhere around those ages. Their mom went over to Jordan. Now, granted, it was safer in Jordan, but not safe as being home. They didn't know about the safety. All they know is mommy's not here. And we would send her messages, but she would able to send them a message every once in a while, but not very often because, that's just not something that was easy to do, over there. So she went over, and in October, she decided she was going to come home on leave, and she was only there for 10 days. And now my son, when he was over there, didn't get to take a leave, but she was able to take a leave, she was in administration, so she was able to take a leave, came home for 10 days. Now her kids did not know that she was coming. So their dad picked her up, and then they went to this corn maze. And she was hiding in this corn maze. Now I knew she was home, and I had to have them there at a certain time. So we left early that morning and trying to keep them busy and get them all dressed up, make them look cute, which is not hard. But I decided, I'm going to go and get their hair fixed. We did not have it cut. We did not have it washed. We just had it braided. And it was $80 to have 3 little girls' hair braided. Now, I don't mind. I wanted it done, but I'm like, $80 to braid hair? I should have learned how to braid hair. I didn't. It was my own fault. But they all looked adorable. So we take them there. They just thought they were meeting Dad for the day. And because I kept them Monday through Friday. And then their dad would get them on the weekends because, he didn't get a chance to see him because he didn't have anybody to watch him. So I would watch him during the week while he worked. And then he would take them on the weekend, spend some time with them. And then they'd come back to Grandma and Grandpa's house. And so they had little beds set up in here, and we got a lot of memories of them being here for the time that she was not here. But we dropped them off with their dad, and to them, they were just going to go through this maze. And there's a video because there was a news company, news agency that whatever, one of the news channels had realized that she was coming home and that this was a big surprise. So they actually filmed it. So what I did was I put down the YouTube link here. I couldn't put it on a QR code because you really can't do so I just wrote it down like this. and cut it out so that, you know, people would know that you can find the video of it there. And I'm recording a little bit on this video too for the kids, so they can see it when they saw their mommy. And it was so cute because they're like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy," and they were so excited. So I know what it's like to be in the military as a wife, and that was not bad. It really wasn't. It was so amazing being married to somebody in the military. But then it wasn't wartime. And then I sent my baby over, and that by far is one of the hardest years of my entire life. And I still have nightmares about it. Honestly, it was so hard, especially in time of war. But when they see these baby girls seeing their mommy come home, they were so happy. They were so excited. And that was amazing. And I'm glad I wasn't there, but I saw the video and they told me all about it and they were so excited. So I'm glad I was able to be a part of that. So if you have somebody in the military, if you're supporting somebody in the military, take a deep breath and know you have all kinds of support. Save all those memories, because you never know when a small memory is going to be a big memory. Talk to you guys later. Leave any comments down below. Bye, everybody.